Hi guys, and thank you for being interested in this tutorial, which we are gonna talk about today about these exciting component updates, okay, that went, I think, a bit kind of under the radar. I'm not sure that everyone is actually familiar with these updates, and let's see exactly what they do. We have preferred instances, we have expose nested instances, and simplified instances. By the way, to get to these, it's in beta version. It's in beta, not version, but yeah, it's kind of like, you can say it like that. It's in beta right now. This is how you access that. Basically, when you click on a component and you see here a blue dot, if you noticed or not, maybe you did, maybe you didn't, when you just click on it, then this one is gonna pop up. By the way, if you are using the, let me see, if you are using the application, the desktop app, which I don't, but you can see it here, settings, okay? And I mean, if it doesn't pop up in your file, also you can go here in the desktop app and just component properties, try new component property authoring features, okay? That's how it's called anyway. So you can do that. And by the way, that here, I'm pretty sure that, of course, if I go into my settings, it's going to be the same. This is the pop-up, okay? And then you just turn it on, you get that instance experience simplify all instances. You close it, you get a message. Thank you for being now you're I don't know, beta tester, something like that. I don't remember exactly. And everything you do from this point and on in your file is under your own responsibility. I'm joking, it doesn't really say that. Anyway, something like that. So that's it, just to show you how it looks. And this is, by the way, you get that also how to use this component. You can just write to your teammates or to yourself or whatever if you don't remember after a month or so. Link to the documentation if you have something like a wider explanation, a bigger explanation of this component, what it does and so on. So you can do that. And we will show that in a minute, or in a, let's say in 20 minutes, more right to say, something like that. Yeah, let's go in. Okay, so the first one is preferred instances, a great, very much requested feature in my eyes. I mean, it wasn't kind of like requested in the meaning of like asking for it, but you know what? Yeah, when I think about it, suddenly you say like, hey, that is a really good one, because the thing is like that. Let me show you what does it mean, preferred instances. Let me see if I'm really, yeah, I'm hooked up here. I'm gonna, yeah. Okay, anyway, I'm talking to myself. Anyway, so I have this component, which is the most amazing button in the world. Okay, you got a label and you have an icon. Wow, really, really sophisticated. Yeah, I'm gonna just like delete this property. Yeah, okay. So I have three, actually, these are the three that you can swap with, or like makes it the most relevant in all the components that you have here in your file, okay? In my file, more right to say. So I have a bunch of components, of course, that when you are working with real, in a real file with, let's say, a lot of screens in it, and you know, a lot of nested components inside each other and so on, probably you're gonna have a long list of components just inside this file or library and so on. So what it does actually is, now I can actually double click on this one and I can swap instances with all the preferred, let's say, sorry, with all the you know, let me make it bigger. I think it's kind of a bit small. Let's, yeah, because we're focusing on things here today, so I'm gonna just made my UI bigger for us, but you know, for you guys to see it better. Anyway, so I'm clicking on that, double clicking. I can either give it an instance swap property, which, by the way, up until now, until this feature, it didn't really make that much sense to me. I mean, I didn't understand why do we actually need it that much, because anyway, I can just double click on this icon and just, you know, click here and select any, you know, any component that I have in my file and just swap it with. I mean, so what's the big deal? Anyway, I mean, I didn't get that much, but now there's something different which was added to it. Okay, preferred instances, I'm giving it a swap instance property, and look at that. Okay, that's where this one kicks in. Preferred values, meaning that I am guiding and hinting either for myself. Let's say if I enter this file a month from now and I don't really remember what I did here or which components exactly exist or live in this file or library or whatever. And for other team members, think about that you are guiding them which are the most suitable components actually to swap with for this button. Now that's a pretty good one. Of course, that you see here, green, blue, and orange, this is only schematic just to show how it works. I assuming that it's kind of understandable, but I'm just pointing it out. Yeah, these are not real icons, which they could be, but it's a bit weird. But anyway, yes. So look at that. I'm clicking the plus, and here you can select from all the components you have in your file, which are the, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be in the same folder, by the way. So which are the ones that you think are best to swap it with? So I'm gonna click on this one and on this one. Look at that. Okay, create property. Pretty cool. Now when you actually duplicate this button and you want to use it anywhere in your file, so you have the instant swap, you click on it, boom, just there. This is amazing. Preferred instances, pretty cool. By the way, if I open the new file, and that is even better. Let's say I'm a team member that works with you or whatever. I'm just copying this component because I need to use it on another file. I enter another file, and yeah, it's kind of big. Anyway, I'm clicking on this one and clicking on this one, and boom, I have already the preferred instances straight here. This is pretty cool. Okay, preferred instances, wow, super, really, really good. Okay, let's go to the second one. Expose nested instances. Sounds dramatic. Yes, but it's a really good one. Okay, let's see how it works. So look at that. I have this actually, you know what, let's go with a big component. Okay, so I have the big component here, and if I click on it, I mean, you see that I don't see any properties of any one of the instances that are actually in this file. I don't see any of them. I just see the component. I can click plus, and I can click here nested instances. Okay, this is the new thing that was added up to that. Nested instances, I'm clicking on it, and here I see nested instances, but there's always a but with 3 dots. This is how it is in life, almost in everything, basically. So, but it gives you only the first level of instances. And what do I mean by that? Okay. Steps is the first component. I mean, it's a first level component. It's not nested inside another component. So basically, I don't have any properties applied into this steps, but it's going to show it. I mean, I can expose it. I can show you right away when you are clicking on this component. If I click on that, you already see nested instances. It already shows you that it has a nested instance, which is called steps. Okay, good. Now I have question. Okay, but notice that when I'm putting my mouse, when I'm hovering on its name, it shows me exactly where it is that component placed on the component itself. Good. I mean, the big component, and we have small nested ones inside. Of course, it's the same component which I just duplicated, because practically it does the same in all of them. Okay, now notice the fact that I have a checkbox nested inside this component. This checkbox, actually, it only has one toggle. I didn't go into disable modes and so on. Never mind, I did it quite simple for this file. So anyway, it has a toggle. Okay, if I'm double clicking on it, you see it has a toggle which I can check it on and off. Okay, I can just click on it, on, click on it, off. Okay, that's a property. Okay, now here, as you notice, oh, you didn't yet, I will show you. I will make sure you do. Okay, nested instances, and when I'm clicking on that, yes, it does show the question. Now let's see question. Yeah, and all of them the same. By the way, I can show them all because there are 5 of them. Let me show you in a bit why. Okay, and this is this one is an instance of this component. This is, I just created a component of like some kind of an onboarding process. Anyway, doesn't matter really, just to show what it does. I'm clicking on it. So look at that here already. When I'm having when I'm working with this instance, basically I see here, I see steps. Okay, it has one property. I can click on it and I can just it gives me its variance, which is sorry, which is pretty cool. Okay, I already see the variance here. I don't have, the thing is that you don't have to double click into nested instances to get their variance and get their properties. You just have to select this component, and you can select, by the way, as you saw. I mean, here you don't have to show all of them. Okay, nested instances, you don't have to show all of them. You can select which ones you actually want to show when you are clicking on the instance of this component. Which ones actually do you want to see here, and you can collapse them. You don't have to leave them open if you want to. Yeah, I'm clicking on the same one again and again. That's okay anyway. You can have them like that. And so this one is the steps. You have its variance. I can click on that one, but I see only the instance, by the way, the first property, meaning the first level property. And I'm kind of like deep explaining it for you guys to understand. This is this component. Okay, this component has a property of a content property, okay, which is just text. Anyway, but I have it on this component, which these are the first level components which are here. The checkbox is already a nested component inside of this one. So I don't see its properties. If I want to, I can go to this component, okay, and I'm just gonna click the plus, nested instances, show me the checkbox instance properties, which is nested inside you. Okay, cool. Now you will see, now the magic happens. I'm clicking on that and boom, we have it straight here. You see, so we have a question and we have a checkbox. Now we see the checkboxes as well. These two which are on, of course, are these two which I can switch on and off. Pretty cool. Okay, so now we see all the nested instances which are inside this one. Cool. Okay, and I can of course close this ones, and let's say I just wanna put on and off the checkboxes, and I can collapse them and so on. Pretty cool. Nice. Okay, so another one is the buttons. Okay, the buttons, by the way, they have a lot of by the way, here just want to show you the one that I talked about before, double clicking on it, and I can, this one, and I can go actually into the point right and point left, okay, on its arrows. And when I click here, I see already the preferred instances to swap with. Okay, icons, boom, I have it right here and here. Icon, this one, the arrowhead, boom, look how beautiful it works. Okay, so I have the preferred ones already. By the way, as you see, that's my beautiful description for it. Just use it. Very informative. Something like that. And then here, light, and I go into light and I have the same thing. I work with the preferred one. I want to have it like this way right now and this way. Really nice. The preferred instances really kind of like makes an order with all that swapping in instances thing. So that is really great, because instead of, as I explained, digging in so many components that you have in your file and deciding which one is the suitable one. So there you go. I just pointed out, and it's very easy to use that. And here, as you see, I have here a component. Basically, it's not that much of a very much doing component, but anyway, just to show the example. Okay, so again here, as you see, here, so these two buttons actually are nested inside this component. It's a component, an auto layout, a responsive auto layout with an auto spacing between them, and they are inside it. Okay, and I just throwed it inside this component. So now practically they are nested within this one, meaning they are second level nested, more right to say. They are not first level components in this one. So notice that when I click this one, the instance of that big component, when I, here, my mistake, yeah, this one is kind of like, confusing a bit. So plus and nested instances, and listen up. So first we see you see the question, and it shows you that kind of like sits below it. That is a nested component inside the question component, but you don't actually see the button. You don't see the button, again, as I explained, because it is nested. It's a second level component inside the big one. So very simply, I'm just going to go here. I'm going to click on it and click the plus nested instances. And now I can click on this one and click on this one, these two buttons, and I want you to show me their properties. Great. Now, actually, when we go here and I click on the plus again, boom, there you go. These are the missing in action buttons. Yes, they're here. So I can, bottom buttons, I can click on them, and now actually I can see them right here. Yes, here they are. Okay, so that's already, yeah, it's a lot of information. Yes, I agree that maybe if you think like, wow, this is like really messy, a lot of information in the eyes. Yeah, but on the other hand, if I just, copy and just throw it here on another file that I'm working on, so you see that now I can have all this information. I mean, dismiss, yeah, okay. I can see all this information, okay, straight in my eyes on, well, like what's going on in this component. So I see already, okay, that is onboarding dialog. I see the steps, and each one that I'm putting my mouse on, it hints me already on the file where it is, which is pretty cool. And we're having the button, so you see now, yeah, it's purple on purple, so it's a bit hard to see that, but yeah, I see it here. So I can click on it. I can, by the way, you can collapse it, you don't have to see all of it. And then you see theme, type, stroke, show arrow. I can just do like that or do like that. By the way, you see I'm working it on another file, so I can just stroke. Oh yeah, it's a different one. A stroke is only yeah. Anyway, okay. Oh, it kind of disappeared. Why is that? Let me see. Yeah, this is the one that I want. I don't want a ghost one. I want a one with a stroke. Okay, cool. And now what I can do is I can, yeah, but it doesn't give you the whole thing, only, okay, show arrow left. Yes, and this one I want to actually, and on the label, by the way, I want to write just back. Boom, I have a back button. Nice, pretty cool. Okay, so you see that's the way you do it. And in here also, after kind of like seeing all the things that you can do with this component, great, nice, very good work. Okay, I'm flattering myself, but no, that wasn't the meaning, by the way, not at all. Anyway, yes, so that's we nailed two preferred instances and expose nested instances. Pretty cool one. Okay, I love it. And simplify, the last one, simplified instances. What does it mean? So that means that when you actually work with a component that these layers, by the way, none of them, yeah, it's just a schematic component, but anyway, uh, this component practically has no properties. It's just like that. It's a content card built with an auto layout, and I'm just gonna duplicate it here, and you will see that when you open it, you're gonna see that see all layers. I mean, I put on, by the way, sorry, I didn't show that here, by the way, look at that component configuration. When you click on it, you will see that here I have the simplify all instances checked. Okay, if I uncheck it, you see now that you see all these layers that practically you can't really do anything with them. I mean, yes, you can double click the image and place a real image inside it. You can, I mean, in the instance, right, to say, you can, one second, yeah, you can double click the text and just change it. You can double click the text on the button and change it, and so on. Yes, you can. But if I will place properties into them, of course, it's going to be easier to do it. And you say, basically what it does is, listen, if I can't really do anything with these layers, just don't show them. They don't disappear. They're there. Simplify all instances. Again, think about a lot of components that you are working with in your file, and maybe there are a lot of layers that you're not really interested to see because you're not going to do anything with them. Okay, they didn't disappear. They're here. I mean, see all layers. When you click on it, you can see all the layers. When you click outside, it's going to collapse it again. But notice that when I actually double click the image, okay, and now I want to give it a Boolean property just to show it and hide it, because maybe sometimes I want a content card without an image. So I'm going to click on the layer, show image, true for now, create property. I go to the instance and look at that, or you see it already here. You see now when you have a property applied to the image, you already see that. So when these ones are collapsed and this one is open, like it shows you that layer, you understand already that it has a property applied to it. Okay, of course you can select that, switch it off, and there you go. You have a content card without an image. Same goes exactly for the, let's say, title. Let's double click the title, give it a content property. Let's call it a title. Yeah, very sophisticated. It's going to be named a title. Yeah, boom, you see it shows that already here, a title. Then you know that you have a property applied to it. Nice. Okay, so I guess that this is what the see all layers, or kind of simplified layers, this is what it does. And already here you can see, let's say, what's going on here. Okay, so it shows the ones that have properties applied to them. See all layers, practically I don't have that many. I mean, this one has no properties applied to it, and this one, the separator, has no properties applied to it, and I think that this one, the X for closing it, same thing. Let's see. Okay, so what do we see here? Yeah, so we see now the separator, we see the close button, which is in a fixed position, and we see the title, because basically, I mean, the title is an auto layout hooked up with the steps component together. So now you see it, okay, steps. But now when it's simplified, actually, look at that. So when it's simplified, it shows you the steps regardless the fact, notice that as well, that it's actually inside an auto layout with the title. So it simplifies actually the way that you see the ones that you can actually do something with. Meaning if I click on it, so here I have the variants, okay? I can just put it on the third one, and then I have actually the third step on, okay? So actually, again, it simplifies the way, or all the layers that you actually need to see to practically do something with them. Okay, pretty cool updates, pretty good ones. So I think we nailed it. Looks perfect. And that's it. I think thank you very much, guys, for being interested in this tutorial. I would be very happy for a like if you liked it. Would be more happy if you subscribe to my channel. Great, and see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.